Hello, folks. This is a grapefruit. This grapefruit would like to be the next president of the United States, just like Hillary Clinton. Now, let's compare this grapefruit to Hillary Clinton and see which is better qualified. Hillary Clinton pretends that she cares for the poor, especially the black poor. The news media who love Hillary Clinton think she's a god. They'll never tell you anything bad about Hillary Clinton. The people that support Hillary Clinton can't tell you anything, even one reason why she shouldn't be president. To me, that sounds like brainwashed persons. Now look, Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party love poor persons, and they care about poor black persons. And that's why when she lived in the White House for 8 years, that's 2,960 days, that's why she kept always inviting poor black families from ghettos all across the country to come and spend a night at the White House with her, or 2 nights, and to enjoy the luxuries and the blessings of meeting the president and being in the White House. No, she didn't invite any poor black persons to the White House. She only invited millionaire black persons to the White House, so they would give $1 million to her campaign in the future, or the Democratic Party in the future, or they'd help her to win when she ran for president in the future. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party can't stand black people, and they can't stand poor black persons, and they can't stand poor persons of any color or race. They like rich people. They don't like poor people, and they're not trying to improve life for any poor person. Any programs that they ever came up with to help poor persons are programs that also help rich persons. And that's why they did them, not to help the poor, but to help the rich. This is a fact. Food stamps helps the poor, right? But wait a minute, if there was no food stamps and no poor persons could go buy those groceries in the grocery store, the grocery stores would lose money. They'd go out of business. And the companies that sell the groceries to the stores would sell a lot less. And the companies that make those groceries would sell less. They'd all have economic problems. So food stamps is just one of many ways that the Democratic Party pretends it's helping the poor, while really what it does is help the rich. Now, Hillary Clinton is a socialist. A socialist is a person, by definition, who wants the rich people should give half of their money to poor persons. If they have a lot of money, they should split it up and give it to others. If they have a high income, they should share it, half of it, with someone who has no income. That's what socialism is. If Hillary Clinton wasn't a liar, if she was a socialist, she would give half of her money away to other human beings, not to some foundation which is going to hire rich people to work for it. She would give it to a poor person. Now, I hear from net worth that she has $40 million, maybe more. So if she's a real socialist, she would take half of it, 20 million, and she'd find, say, 20 or 40 poor black families and give them each $1 million or $500,000. That would be a socialist. But no, Hillary Clinton isn't going to give her money to anybody. Instead, she wants to lie to you and fool you into thinking that if she's president, that the government will give you money if you're poor. And the middle class thinks she's so honest and so good. The media can't think she's a god. They won't say anything disparaging about her because the media want her in office because the Democratic Party is more likely to let pot smoking become legal than the Republican Party. So they want to smoke pot. They do it already anyway. They're rich. They can afford to. They'll get arrested. If they do, they can pay for lawyers. But poor people who get arrested for pot smoking, why, they have a problem. And even if they don't get arrested, pot is destroying their lives, just like alcohol is destroying their lives. Look, take New York City, for example. New York City arrests poor black boys who are trying to go get a job. It does. That's what New York City does. It's run by the Democratic Party. New York City's been run by the Democratic Party for so long nobody can remember when. I can't remember when the Republicans had control of the city council. The city council makes the laws. There's been Republican mayors, but they don't act like Republicans. They act like Democrats. Otherwise, they can't get elected in New York City because the people in New York City only want Democrats in office who will ruin the lives of poor black boys by arresting them when they jump a turnstile to try to go get a job. And they do. They arrest them. What in the world is a Democratic city government doing this for if they care about poor black persons? Why? The boy's trying to get a job, and they turn him into a criminal. The problems in the big cities are not caused by the Republicans, they're caused by the Democrats. So why in the world will you live in a big city and vote in a Democrat? They can't stand your guts. They're just using you to make themselves rich, pretending they care about you, and they get rich by being career politicians. Look, nobody needs to be in office more than one term. Then somebody else should have the job. And the whole system of the longer you're there in Congress, the more important you are, that's un-American. That's not equality. That's not one vote for each person. That's power for a few people who know how to control the political system better than others, like Hillary Clinton. She's a fraud. She's an absolute fraud. And you don't want to believe it. Look, the Democrats are responsible for slavery since the beginning of this country. The Republican Party was started to end slavery. But the Democrats then came up with the segregation. And they don't care if you're free or you're not. They're going to make life miserable for you, make you poor, and benefit from your poverty, which they can't do, but they think they can. Every program this government has for the poor is a program to keep you poor, not to let you get out of poverty. By the time that 16-year-old boy is 18, he'll be in jail. The New York State jails are filled with black men who were turned into criminals when they were 16 because they wanted to go get a job. Wake up! Wake up! This grapefruit is much more qualified to be president than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton hasn't done anything to be qualified. Well, this grapefruit offers its life to some human being that's hungry. Please, don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Vote for Donald Trump. He's not a socialist. He's a man who created 10,000 jobs for people by working hard in private industry. Let that benefit come to you. Why don't you? This grapefruit wants to be your next president, and so does Hillary Clinton. I hope the grapefruit wins. I'm poor, and I'm for Donald Trump.